Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's me again, Jen. Hello! And we are here again in this beautiful month of May with the Elemental Wisdom Tarot, which is a tarot deck that was graciously lent to us by my dear friend and tarot student, Taylor, who has joined us in the past month in April with another one of her tarot decks that I really enjoyed. This one is equally as beautiful, but a little more in my wheelhouse, shall we say, because it is strongly based on the symbolism of the Rider-Waite Tarot and not based on video game characters that I know nothing about. So I'm on my own for this one, but hope to bring Taylor back for some more discussion on other cards and future decks. So without further ado, let's see what card we have for today. All right, we have the Two of Wands. So we know that wands are typically representative of the element of fire. They are passion, they are energy, they are creativity, they are all those kinds of things. They are also, in a standard deck of playing cards, represented as clubs. So if you are kind of more into the standard deck of playing cards, or you're just not sure if you want to pick a tarot deck yet, you can read the tarot with a standard deck of playing cards. The wands in this case are really gorgeously represented in a very arid climate. I have noticed that all of the cards are kind of in a desert landscape, and the Two of Wands takes it to the nth degree because typically the Two of Wands is represented with an individual, typically male, in this case female, represented standing on kind of a wall or a fortress looking out over the water. And there is no water in this one. I mean, there is on the little globe that's floating. We'll get to that in a second. But there's sand in the background. So this really embraces the whole, this is fire. This is arid climate. This is not water. No water to be seen. But I really like this because I feel like if you had any kind of uncertainty about the element represented by wands, you definitely get dry and heat and fire and things like that from this card. The character depicted on here is stunning. She is beautifully represented. I love the clothing on her. I think the only thing I would change is that let's stick with this fire thing of like, let's do reds and golds and oranges and things like that. But I will say, artistically speaking, the blue really pops and looks really elegant on here rather than blending right in with the rest of the scenery, which is kind of more oranges and yellows as it is. The two wands that she is holding, or rather she is holding one of them and the other one is leaning up against the wall. Again, she has made her choice and she is looking at the globe, which is her looking out over the ocean, looking out in the distance. I think typically the character is holding a globe, not letting it float in the atmosphere. These cards do have a whimsy to them. They're a little more magical in almost all the cards rather than in a more standard deck. There is some magic to the imagery, but for the most part, it's more grounded. It's more like things you would see every day. You would not see someone floating a globe every day. But either way, the twos represent balance and weighing the issues and kind of the pros and cons, the black and the white, finding a balance between things. In the case of the Two of Wands, it is about finding that balance between, is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? What choices can I make? How do I progress onto the next step? Do I need to reach out to other people? Do I need to learn new skills? And all of those kinds of aspects of when you're trying to start a new project or you're trying to do something new, you have to access all of these ideas. And do you want to take the next step? So what I like too is in most of the Two of Wands, the individual depicted is holding on to one of the rods, which means the choice has been made. Whether it is to stay or to move on is dependent kind of on the way the card is drawn. When it is upright, it is usually a positive thing. It is time to move on to the next step. You have all the tools at your disposal. You have all the ideas. All your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted, and it's good to go. When it comes up reversed, it's kind of more like, okay, well, wait. Weigh this out again. Check your options. Check which path you should really take, and just slow down. Slow down and think about it. So I like that in this one, as in most of the Two of Wands, the individual has grasped one of the rods and said, yes, we have made the choice. It is time to move on. Again, the only thing I don't like about these cards is the font. It is really unpleasant and very hard to read. I would not know that that said Wands if it weren't for the very clear depiction of Wands in the top. So that's really the only drawback I have for this card. I love the imagery, the artistic, just the details that are in these cards, which obviously do not show up clearly on video. You would have to grab these cards and check them out for yourself and really zoom in, because she's got all these beautiful jewels and things hanging from her belt. Her necklace is absolutely stunning, and I'm sure there are things represented in that necklace that I'm just not seeing, and I would have to get a magnifying glass for. But yes, all of this is absolutely gorgeous. The detail and the work put into the artwork on these cards blows my mind. They're absolutely stunning. Also, I know it doesn't come off on video at all, but they are like a satin finish card. So if you're looking for cards that like aren't going to slip all over the place, these kind of stick together. So it's a little nicer if you're like, I'm trying to shuffle and I don't want to drop the cards all over the place. Which I've had some cards that are super slick and they will slide everywhere, and so you kind of rough them up a little from shuffling them. These are nice with the satin finish. So I love these cards. They're absolutely beautiful. The only drawbacks I have about them is the font on them and that they do not come with their own book. And with the level of artistic detail that is done on these cards, I would love to have read their description of the cards, because there's a whole other level there. Being a writer myself, I want to read the details that you wrote about these cards. So if there ever is a chance that the book exists, I would love to get my hands on it. And if it doesn't, hey, what are you guys waiting for? Get a book out. This is a beautiful deck and it deserves to have its own book too. So if you are a beginning reader though, you will have to get another deck, or I'm sorry, another book that goes with this deck, but any Rider Waite tarot deck book will probably get you through working with this deck. So enjoy. It's absolutely beautiful. And as always, big thank you to Taylor for lending it to me. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!